you are. Wow. It's been a little while, hasn't it? Yeah. It's been about 2 months now. But we're back. So, obviously, a lot has happened. And you know, my 2 months, it was really initially was only supposed to be about a little 2-week break. But unfortunately, just things happened, and that wound up turning into a 2-month hiatus. And for good reason. You know, I really needed it. There was a lot of things that I needed to put my attention on elsewhere. So, we're back now though, and here we go. Let's fire it up and let's get going. So, I guess we're gonna treat this like story time, and we're gonna integrate that into vlogs. So that way you can kind of see what I'm going through now, but I'll also catch you up on the previous 2 months a little bit here and there along the way. And let's go back to my last vlog, which I was out at the edge of the world out there in California. I have seen a bunch of the comments, and it's kind of killed me not to answer them. But I kind of stepped away. I mean, I haven't even logged on Instagram. So social media, basically, I just turned the off switch and, went to work and went home and did all sorts of things. So the last time whenever I was out in California, obviously I was out west, and I got a lot of comments saying that, hey, I thought you don't go out west. Well, I didn't with a flatbed. It's a little bit different with a step deck. You know, you're more specialized, and that was the whole purpose of me buying the step deck, and not just any step deck. I mean, an extremely light, low pro step deck. I wanted to specialize myself as much as possible. So I can kind of go anywhere really, and the vast majority of the time, I'm going to be able to get something that's going to be able to take me somewhere, even if I'm in the worst market in the contiguous 48. And that was the rationale behind it, and so far it's worked well. But we've got some major changes that I will be slowly revealing over the next couple of weeks, and so stay tuned for all of that, guys. I missed you. I'm glad to be back. But for today, we are headed up to Soda Springs, Idaho. We have a load of electrodes back there, and they were heavier than what the broker said. And luckily, I was able to scale it out, barely. But yeah, so we got to go do that. But stick around, because I'm going to catch you guys up a little bit today, and we're going to talk about, today's topic is going to be why I'm headed out west. Good to see your face. You ready? Let's roll. It is absolutely beautiful, and I am here in Green River, Utah. And as I'm walking down, what I'm doing is I'm checking my straps, see how we look. But real quick, what I want to point out also while I'm walking this way is right over here. So when you're coming down little highway. I think it's 168 maybe. But the first turnoff, let's see here. There's a open lot over here that has overflow parking. Yeah, last time I was headed out this way, headed up to Salt Lake, I parked over there, and it was night. And well, it was kind of early evening. But when I pulled out the next day, I pulled out, you know, kind of before dawn. And what I didn't realize is that there's a huge dip coming out, and I bottomed out the trailer, and I bottomed it out pretty good. And that was kind of the first time that I really bottomed it out hard. Well, really the only time I bottomed it out hard. I bottomed it out a couple times. I think that's almost unavoidable. But I've got a flatbed that's about to come over here and park next to me. Let's see if we can wrap this up real quick. But anyway, I'm here in Utah. If you can see that behind me, this is just not working out. This deck height is not ideal. But anyway, beautiful, beautiful scenery. I love coming out west. It's, you know, back whenever I was a company driver, that's what I used to do. I used to come out to the Northwest twice a month for, I don't know, a solid year. And then for about 3 years that I was with FFE, I still came out once a month. And I really do. I love it out here. I enjoy the driving. It's more wide open. It's not nearly as cluttered with traffic, and you can kind of get around. And it's great to come out west and put some miles down. And in this market, you know, some of my older videos, I truly thought that the market was going to bounce back. It never really did. What was interesting is that I had, you know, I had access to the DAT board, and you know, I was watching DAT board, watching the spot market, and I didn't understand why, you know, there was plenty of loads on the spot market, and you could make, you know, pretty good money. And it seemed to be a little bit better than what I was doing when I was at Mercer. And you know, the last time that I was out here, which I met up with Sammy, makes sense. Check him out if you haven't already. And I left a note on his truck. Well, on that last load, that same day that I unloaded, we actually met up, and you know, we got to talk. And if you've watched his recent video, if you haven't, go watch it. You know, he talks about, which we talked about at the time, doing a small series, and you know, telling you guys how we built our channels. And by the way, that reminds me, thank you guys so much. You know, I've passed over 7,600 subscribers. That's unbelievable. And the mind-boggling thing to me was, over the last 2 months that I hadn't put out a video, my channel never lost any traction. So we're gonna talk about that. We get lots and lots of questions about that. But anyway, whenever you're chasing miles, you know, east to west is obviously, it's a good lane. And you know, on the longer routes, it seems to be that the freight rates don't drop as much. There's not as much room for them to drop because they're already fairly low. So when you're chasing miles, east to west is a good route to run. And that's why I've been coming out west, because it never really bounced back. So that was why, you know, and plus on top of that, you know, being that I've got, you know, the new step deck, you know, I'm trying to learn. I'm trying to learn where to go, where to position myself, and I know that there are good accounts, you know, in Southern Cali, as well as all the way up to Washington. So anyway, that is why I was heading out west, and that is why I'm still going out west. This load right here is going up to Soda Springs, Idaho, like I mentioned earlier. We're in Green River, Utah. We've got about 320 something miles to go to get to the pilot that is just west of Soda Springs. So that's where we're gonna head today. And this video today, this has gone on long enough. I like to keep my videos between 10 minutes and 15 minutes, so that's where we're gonna shut her off. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and stay tuned, because there really is, you know, this time there's a huge reveal that's even bigger than when I bought the step deck. So stay tuned for that. But as always, you guys stay driven.